Alright, let's get started. Today on First Pass we're doing a speculative look at the Retribution class Super-Dreadnaught from Star Citizen. This one-of-a-kind vessel was recently revealed to be finally active as of episode 2 of Squadron 42, so now's the perfect time to break down this absurdly powerful symbol of humanity. Without further ado. The origins and purpose of this vessel can be traced back to the hostilities between the Vanduul and the United Earth Empire. The Vanduul clans have repeatedly attacked human colonies with their flagships, commonly referred to as kingships, being all but unstoppable in direct combat. It would require the coordinated effort of multiple Bengal battle groups to even stand a chance to destroy one. The disparity in power between Earth's mainstay heavy capital ship, the aforementioned Bengal class, was most evident in the sizes alone. The Bengal came in at a respectable 990 meters, though the kingship dwarfed it with its monstrous length of 2,800 meters. Humanity needed a ship that could take on the Vanduul flagships one-on-one and come out on top. Thus we enter Project Guadin. Though not intentionally designed for this explicit purpose, this top-secret project easily filled the crucial gap missing in the naval arsenal. Coming in at 2,789 meters, the Retribution class is almost the same length as the kingships themselves, making by far the largest currently active vessel humanity has at its disposal. First and foremost, the Super-Dreadnaught is designed for brawling with similar-sized capital ships, speculatively sporting 6 to 8 130mm shipbuster railguns, the same kind that makes up the entire keel of the Bengal class. A massive number of secondary batteries and point defenses are pretty much guaranteed. Extremely heavy shielding and armor can also be reasonably expected. Though primarily a frontline warship, it still has a series of 4 hangars for a modest fighter complement. Though not a dedicated carrier, they're likely more to function as a defensive screen against enemy fighters, as the main shields tank any inbound ordnance. As such, only fighters, interceptors, and recon assets would likely be actively used, as opposed to a reliance on additional bombers and gunships as a normal carrier would. In our first look at the UEES Retribution in the Squadron 42 Episode 2 trailer, we see the fully completed vessel being escorted by a Bengal, a few destroyers, and a couple of fighter squadrons. One of the biggest takeaways from this cameo was that the fork design of the ship was speculated early on to be some kind of massive spinally mounted railguns for one-shotting kingships. It seems as though it might actually have such a spinal weapon system, but we won't know with any certainty until we see it in full gameplay. Overall, it is a powerful, if blunt, instrument of war meant to level the playing field. To be used effectively, a fleet similar to that shown in the trailer would actually be quite realistic. Against a potent fleet of one kingship and several hunters, their destroyer analog, the Retribution would rely heavily on its escort and their fighter wings to provide a powerful defense against the hundreds of fighters the Vanduul would deploy in such an engagement. Assuming the spinal-mounted railgun wouldn't do in the kingship right away, the two flagships would likely end up in a close-range slugging match, with the human vessel having several massive advantages such as shields and directed fire weapons as opposed to the kingship being a massively armored carrier. Assuming neither side retreats, the kingship would likely be doomed, though it wouldn't let the Retribution go unscathed, having to deal with its entire wing of fighters. Once the kingship was destroyed, it would be fairly quick work to mop up any remaining hunters and fighters. And with that, we've speculatively broken down the upcoming Retribution class and her role. If you have any ideas or suggestions for future ships or combat analyses, comment below. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe for more content, and remember, this was your first pass at the Retribution.